I served my cheating wife with divorce papers, exposed her affair to her boss's wife, and went no contact with all our mutual friends. But now, even after the divorce, she keeps trying to get me back. All this happened while I was missing my son, lost 15 pounds, and discovered our whole marriage was just a backup plan while she lived a double life with multiple men. I'm sitting here at work right now, just seething. The main thing that gets me is how much I miss my son, Connor, 14M. This year, I didn't get visitation over the summer because of the damn virus, and it eats at me every day. But what makes it all even worse is what happened at the end of September. I learned my wife of 5 years, Jessica, 39F, was cheating on me. Ever since, I've been running myself ragged playing amateur detective, looking for the truth. And it's like pulling on a never-ending thread. This nasty woman has been living in my house, and I've had to act like nothing's happened, no matter how much I just want to get her out. My lawyer, Carlton, 52M, just keeps telling me not yet. I haven't been able to sleep in my own bed in almost 2 months. I plan to burn those sheets as soon as this is over. We haven't been intimate in months, and now Jessica accuses me of cheating. When she tries to hug or kiss me, I get sick to my stomach. Just looking at her makes my skin crawl. The stress is awful, like being locked in a big empty room with just a table, echoes in your head, and someone tapping on the wood until the only thing you want is to flip the table over or strangle someone. I can't even talk to anyone about it because it always comes down to not yet, not yet, not yet. Sometimes I think about how angry and disappointed I am in myself for ending up here, letting someone do this to me again. Really, I just want this all over and done with. I want my son back. I got home late last Sunday after a 1,400-mile drive. I was grateful not to see Jessica. It wasn't something I wanted to face. I just slumped into my recliner and passed out. For the first time in months, I slept well, 8 hours straight. But in those 2 months, I've lost 15 pounds, and I look and feel like hell. On Monday, Jessica tried to initiate intimacy, but I couldn't do it. There's nothing wrong with me physically. My little soldier is always up and at 'em every morning. But for once, my body is totally on the same page as my mind and heart, and that page says no way. That upset her and led to a big argument. I said maybe something was wrong with me. Being 50, that kind of thing happens. She quickly started hinting again that I was the cheater. Not her, that I was being a bad husband, not intimate, not even saying I love you for over 2 months, so I had to be hiding something. The irony was killing me. She was trying to gaslight me. Yeah, I was behind her back, piecing everything together to catch her. D-Day for me was September 25th. I work in collision repair, mostly on train wreck vehicles. That day, I sliced my leg open on a truck, ended up with 5 internal and 34 external stitches and had to go to the ER. It was the kind of pain that needs heavy meds, and I wasn't about to drive. So I called Jessica. No answer. 5 minutes later, called again. Still nothing. Once more. Then another. Texted her, babe, pick up, I need you. Nothing. Over an hour and a half. Eventually I took an Uber home. We turned onto my street and I see, right there in my doorway, Jessica, locked in a deep, passionate kiss with Greg, 41, her boss, the GM at her work. She was supposed to be at her job, not in my house. I told the driver to stop so I could get some photos. Not a peck. Full-on makeout. I snapped the pics, told the driver to keep going, and had him take me right back to work. Sat in the break room for hours, head down, heartbroken and numb. When the painkillers wore off, I drove home, hurting inside and out. Jessica came home a couple hours later acting all concerned. Maybe that was real, maybe not. Asked her how her day went. She spun a fake work story. I learned a week later she hadn't worked a Friday in 3 years. I didn't really use Reddit before this, just lurked, but now I needed guidance about infidelity and stumbled on this sub plus some YouTube videos. The advice here hit home. All the red flags, all matched Jessica. She was glued to her phone, always texting, never answering my calls or messages. She didn't realize until last Monday that I'd been trying to contact her from the ER that day. She hadn't even bothered to check our chat log in 2 months. During a fight, I lost it. I shoved my phone in her face, made her look at all the unanswered messages I'd sent when I needed her. She finally checked her own phone, I think for the first time. Then she stormed out for a couple hours. When she returned, she apologized and flat out lied to my face, blaming a bad day at work. But the reality is, she was busy with her boss in my house. Since then, I checked her electronics. I figured out how to access everything from one of her old phones and installed cameras in the house. Yesterday, Jessica was served. If you're curious about the details, here's how it went. I left early, grabbed breakfast, waited for her to leave, then rented a truck and changed the locks. My friend, Madison 38F, and her husband Daniel, 39M, came over. He brought a buddy too, and we packed up Jessica's stuff. The bedroom furniture I bought as a wedding gift, my couch, the dining table, every piece she disrespected. Hauled it to storage. I put her clothes in garbage bags, almost mixed dirty and clean, but Madison stopped me. Finished up around noon, bought flowers and chocolate, then went to Jessica's work. Gave her the flowers and candy, big hug and kiss. She was beaming. Everyone at her work said how sweet it was. I told her I wanted to make plans for her that night, give her a night she'd remember, but had a doctor's appointment first. As I left, I saw Greg, her boss from now on. He's Greg, smiled and waved. Hey Greg, how are you? Then I left. At 2 p.m., a sheriff's deputy would walk into her job and serve her divorce papers. At 2 p.m., I was at Greg's house. I texted him the photo I took when I caught them and snapped a selfie in front of his front door. Sent that too. Knocked, and his wife, Melissa, 38F, answered. She knew me a bit from work parties. I told her point blank, Jessica and your husband have been having an affair. She didn't believe me, so I showed her the photo, then another selfie I found of them on my couch. She slapped me, then started crying. I gave her a folder with all the evidence and my lawyer's info and told her straight up, get checked for STDs. Jessica's been with multiple men. She asked why I was doing this. Honestly, I didn't know. Her pain hurt me to deliver, but I said she deserved to know. When I left, my phone blew up. Calls, messages, all coming in. I ignored them and went home. I changed my Facebook status to divorced, then read Jessica's panic messages. What is this? What are you doing? I told her she could come by the house at 7 p.m., not a minute before, for her stuff. Apparently, Greg didn't tell her what had happened with Melissa right away, but eventually he did, because Jessica texted me for outing her affair. Madison called me, and I answered. I went in, how long have you known about Jessica and Greg, and made her promise not to lie. She admitted it, the whole time, even before Jessica and I met. All those years, I wasn't the main event, I was a side piece. That realization is a kick in the teeth. I asked why Madison never told me. She said she kept it secret because she was Jessica's friend and worried I'd fly off the handle. I reminded her, she knows me better than that. Would she want someone to tell her if her husband was cheating? She admitted she would. I told her to never contact me again, sent her the pictures Jessica had taken with her husband, and gave her my lawyer's number. Jessica showed up at the house near 4 p.m., discovered the change of locks, banged on the doors, yelled, called repeatedly. I turned the ringer off. Then she broke a window and left. 2 deputies came later. One was actually Daniel, who'd helped move stuff, along with Madison. 7 p.m., Jessica showed up, looked totally defeated. Gave her her clothes, storage keys, lawyer's card, told her all contact would have to be through legal reps from now on. She started with the, I love you. We can fix it, I'm sorry, spiel. Said she didn't care about the others, only me, it was all just a mistake. I pointed to the lawyer's card. She protested, it's my house too, you can't kick me out. I told her it was my house now. She'd made an unforgivable mistake. Then the script flipped to I hate you and screamed insults. Deputies turned on the cruiser lights. Neighbors came out for the drama. I kept calm, hands at my side. She screamed. I think she was drunk. She finally started sobbing that she had nowhere to go. Told her that wasn't my problem. Learning a new thing. Jessica can throw a mean right hook. She clocked me in the face, bloodied my nose and split my lip, scratched me before the deputies pulled her off. I declined pressing charges, told them just to get her gone. They filed a report so I could get a restraining order. Actually, it's a relief. Cleaning up after, the last 2 months of feelings caught up to me. Exhaustion, crying, the whole thing just hit in waves. Hundreds of calls and texts on my phone. I put everyone on mute, cut off all our mutual friends. I'd sort it later. Didn't call Connor that night. I always call him, and I regret missing it. Next day, I told him. He wasn't upset. He'd never liked Jessica anyway. Met with Jessica and her attorney the following day. Didn't get everything I wanted, but came away with enough. We signed for uncontested divorce to be finalized in 2 months. I felt some relief, but mostly I was just numb and depressed. Jessica didn't or couldn't look at me almost the whole meeting. Her lawyer, a sharp guy named Mr. Bryant, 45, asked if we'd consider reconciliation. We both played along, but there was no way back. He asked Jessica for full disclosure. What she wrote was crap, less than what I already knew. My attorney Carlton pulled out camera grabs. Who's this and who's that? She wasn't honest, even with her own lawyer. After another private meeting, I finally got the truth. Two of the guys were recent online hookups. She'd been with Greg for basically our whole relationship, though she said she dumped him when we got engaged and picked it up again a year later. Do I believe her? I shouldn't, but I kind of do. I asked if she'd ever been faithful. She admitted that in July 2019, during our July 4th barbecue, she started an affair with my coworker, Frank, 42M. Madison's husband, right there, at my house while I was present. She said it wasn't love, just getting off on it. After that, she got bolder, started looking up randoms on dating sites, likely had some parking lot hookups too. I asked for privacy, and when the attorneys left, I looked her in the eyes and asked, not why she cheated, but why she married me. She said she did love me then, but wanted marriage, wanted security, and you were good in bed. But she's loved Greg for 10 years, and he was never leaving his wife, so I was plan B. She said I made her happy, but she wanted what she wanted. For the record, she and Greg were both fired. Madison made a stink about it at work. Jessica moved back in with her parents. I was told it's none of my business what's happening with Greg and Melissa, but word is, Greg's trying to hold his marriage together. If he keeps it up, I might need to confront him. Before I left, Jessica dropped the last bombshell. She had an abortion 2 years ago because she didn't know who the father was. That one got to me. In the beginning, we tried to have another kid, but later decided to just relax and enjoy intimacy. The timeline lined up, unprotected with her nearly every day. There's a good chance it was my child. I'll never know. It cut me deeply, made me literally stand up and leave the room. You can talk about dodging bullets, but all I can think is she killed my child. If you've done any boxing, there comes a point when hits keep coming, but don't even hurt anymore. It's just numb. That's where I am. She could tell me she started the Chicago fire and I wouldn't care. I told Carlton to go to Plan B, drop my demand for alimony, just get me the divorce as fast as possible, uncontested. The abortion rattled me. I didn't want a single reminder of her, even in the form of alimony payments. By 5:43 p.m., she signed. 2 months from now, it would all be over. I keep the house, retirement funds, and property. She gets $73,000 from our savings, can never contact me again, and that's that. Right now, I don't care what happens to her. Frankly, I hope she gets therapy for her sake, but I'm done caring. No feeling of relief, just an awful taste in my mouth. Nothing's been good for 3 months, and I can't see anything good on the horizon either. The abortion haunts me. It'll be on my mind for a long time. I don't know what I'm going to do next. Maybe when this is finalized, I'll find some kind of closure. All I want now is silence. No more, "Aw man, I'm so sorry." I need peace and quiet. Looking back, all I see are the mistakes, nowhere I did things right. At least I kept my things this time. But I'm not going through any of this again. The divorce decree arrived in the mail today. Snowmageddon delayed it. Oddly, I'm not happy or sad, just numb. Friends wanted to celebrate, but I don't think failure is cause for celebration. Maybe it'll hit me eventually. Jessica called today. I answered. Figured it was fine to talk since it's all done. She's more of a mess than I am. Never apologized. Just asked, what good would that do? I don't know if she actually regrets what happened. It doesn't matter now. Her folks, now this is tough. Connor's the closest thing to a grandchild they have, and he wants to stay in touch. I'm okay with that, but don't know how to talk to them without Jessica being involved. Life's messy. I actually liked Jessica's dad. Closest thing to family Connor really has from my side. Also, shout out to my chihuahua, Dulce. Thanks for the suggestion, Reddit. She kept me warm during 5 days of no power in Snowmageddon. I'm taking a break from all this. Maybe for good. Maybe until I feel interested in dating again. I always had that fear that Jessica didn't love me, that she'd break me, and now it's screaming in the back of my mind. So for now, I'm giving myself time and space to heal. Remember, just because you've been let down doesn't mean you're worthless. Stay strong. Love to you all. Since July, I've started therapy, working through all of this and more. I want to reconcile with my sister, Maria, 47F. She's all I have left after my parents and brother passed. I'm not sure if I have the courage to reach out. We haven't talked in nearly 3 decades. Maybe it's time to try, especially for Connor's sake. I want him to know his family, not just my friends he calls aunt and uncle. His last chance at true family, thanks to Jessica's betrayal. If Maria's willing, maybe my cousin Paul, 44M can help us reconnect. My therapist thinks it's the right thing. I hope if I reclaim some of my lost family, I can move forward. For anyone wondering, I have no idea how Jessica is now. No contact and don't care. Madison's totally gone too. And as for Greg and his crew, not my business. In exactly an hour, it'll be a year since I handed Jessica the divorce papers. I woke up feeling okay, went for a run, made breakfast for Connor, went to work. Then, right on cue, 10:30 a.m., I get called up to the office. Someone delivered cookies from Jessica, like every year. I just told the team they could have them. Our customer service rep asked who they were from. I told her no one's touched them yet. Annoyed that Jessica found out my new job address, but whatever. She likes to poke at me every so often, like being late on her car payment, so the finance company calls me. This is just another way she tries to remind me she's still out there. Came home to a surprise barbecue party. Beer, friends, laughter. Guess they thought I'd need cheering up, but honestly, aside from the cookies, my day was fine. This was actually a great ending. This story ends right here. It's clear that finding out the truth and taking action, no matter how painful, was necessary for the narrator to start rebuilding a sense of self and stability. It also shows how deep betrayal can cause lasting effects, not only on trust, but on one's outlook for the future. What do you think? What would you have done if you discovered the affair? Would you confront your spouse immediately or plan things out like OP did? Let me know in the comments.